Okie dokie Loki, everyone. It's part 2 time for the Q&A thing. It's might have been like a day or two for you, but it's only been 5 seconds for me. So let's hop right back in. Okay, Blue Rave asks, what is your favorite mythical creature or creatures in the world of MLP? That's difficult, because, there's all sorts of really cool creatures and everything in MLP, And I think I'd have to say maybe the Breezies, just because out of all the various creatures that MLP has invented, the Breezies are the only ones that have really become actual characters. Excuse me. In the show. So I like, they have, out of all the other creatures, they have the most sort of personality to them. Okay. So far, what would you say is your favorite or least favorite episode of Season 4? Okay. Favorite episode, Pinkie Pride. Least favorite? That's tough. I'd probably have to say Some Pony to Watch Over Me. And I still like that episode, just not nearly as much as many of the other episodes in Season 4. Okay. Whose past would you like to see expanded on in a future episode? That's an interesting question. I'd have to say probably Fluttershy, because out of all of the main 6, we know the least about her past. We don't know what her parents were like, if she had, is she an orphan? I don't know, is she, Applejack? What was her relationship like with her parents? Where is she from? What she, she was, I guess, born in Cloudsdale and moved to Ponyville. And that's pretty much all we know. We know she had bullying problems in school, but that's really it. I'd like to see more about Fluttershy's past. Of course, it could turn out that her past is just completely mundane and boring, but there's potential there, I think, for something interesting. Okay. Ozzy All asks, are you going to any conventions this year? Hopefully. I will most likely be going to BronyCon 2014, and that is very exciting. Although, I'm not gonna, fully announce that yet. I'm not gonna make any sort of announcement video until I'm absolutely 100% sure that I will be going, because I don't want to say, hey guys, I'm going to BronyCon, and then find out that some misadventure means I won't be going. So I'm holding off on that, but most likely I will be going to BronyCon. Okay, what video games do you play? I play a lot of video games. I like games. I also want to review games and haven't had time. But out of just what sort? I play games of almost any sort of genre, really. I like any kind of genre of game, as long as it's a good game in that genre. And of course, genres have good games and bad games in them. But yeah, so I don't think I can really, the best I can say for what kind of game I play is, I play games that I enjoy, and some of those are shooters, some of those would be horror games, some are puzzle games, there's all sorts of things. Okay. Let's see. What future plans do you have to make more videos or collabs? Yeah, in terms of collabs, I don't really have anything planned, but, I know you're all going to be wondering, for Doctor Who, will we do a huge, big thing to do the Doctor Who Christmas special, Time of the Doctor? And the best answer I can give to that is, maybe I'll do that. I want to do that, but again, I don't want to do that because, it's so much work, and this one's going to have to be even bigger with more people, and, I don't want to do it. So, chances are, if that does happen, it will either A, not be for a very long time, or B, just be put together and organized by someone else. So, yeah, okay. Wesleyan134 asks, have you ever played Dwarf Fortress? No, sorry, I haven't. Okay. Lyrics of Love asks, why is Cheese Pie the best ship of all time? Well, have you seen the episode? They're just so cute together, and it works. Their color schemes work together, and the character designs just look good together, and their interactions, and it's so perfect. I just love that episode, and I love them so much. I have rewatched Pinky Prod, must be like 15 times now, and I still have just the biggest, stupidest grin on my face every time I watch it. It's just, oh, it's so perfect. I love it. Okay. How do you feel about Pi? I don't really like Pi. Okay. Have you seen Gibbons' headcanon video about Breezies? Do you agree with the things he says? I saw, like, the first minute of it, and then I had to go do something, and then I forgot to get around to watching the rest of it, but at least what he said in the first minute of it, I totally agreed with. And, yeah. In fact, I almost agree with, like, I agree with almost everything that Give and Take says, so, you know, for the record, if I don't make a video for an episode, just go watch Give and Takes, because it will most likely be my opinion on it, too, but, you know, we do disagree at some points, so don't do that all the time now. Okay. Are there any analysts you really want to collab with that you haven't done so with already? That's hard, because I have a long list of analysts I want to collab with, but thanks to the Doctor Who video, I've already collabed with most of them. So, ones that I haven't collabed with, I'd probably have to just say, like, Silverquill or something, and, you know, part of that is, you know, and it's not just because he has a whole bunch of subscribers, and if I could collab with him, that would be a huge boon for my channel. But, you know, I do think that our two different sort of styles of comedy and video and everything can work well together, so I think we could make a good collab. Okay. Let's see. Should Diamond Tiara and or Silver Spoon be redeemed at some point? And then they say, I personally want Silver redeemed, but Diamond Tiara can be sent straight to the Glue Factory or even the Rainbow Factory. Actually, I'm gonna go really far against the common opinion here, and I think it's actually for the best that Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon remain static characters and do not get redeemed. I think that's actually better for the show, because the show will always need characters of their archetype. There will always need to be the sort of bully characters to either just sort of like, you know, maybe just plant the seeds of doubt in a character's mind, or to get a conflict started. And, you know, if we redeem Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon, then the show is out of those characters, and we're going to have to get new characters, and, you know, we already have characters, and if we keep switching out our classic bully character, then it just kind of seems weird, because it seems like, it'll seem like there's so many different, like, bullies and everything. It's not just the same characters, and it doesn't have that same impact. So I think it's actually best that Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon do not get redeemed. Okay. Do you think the other main six will ever learn to trust Discord? I think they might eventually, but, you know, they're slowly learning, and honestly, I don't really blame them, because Discord has pretty much been nothing but, like, the nicest he's been to any of them except Fluttershy is kind of a jackass. Like, that's him at his nicest. So, I definitely don't blame the main six if they never really fully trust Discord, because, I mean, even after he's been redeemed, he's still kind of a jerk, and I love that. He's just messing with all of them. Okay. Do you think the CMC should get their cutie marks in separate episodes or at the exact same time? So that's interesting. It can go both ways, I think. Because if they get their cutie marks in different episodes at different times, then that's good, because it sort of paves the way, because, you know, it means you can get an episode where they talk about, well, you know, we're the Cutie Mark Crusaders, we're all about getting your cutie mark. So if you get your cutie mark, you know, can you still be a part of the Cutie Mark Crusaders? And I think there's potential for an episode there. Though, granted, especially since in Season 4, they've started shifting focus away from cutie marks, I think if they do pull an episode like that, it will just come off as it being a really obvious lesson that they should kind of already know at this point. So, I don't know. And then if they get them all at the same time, that could be interesting, because it would imply that all three of their cutie marks are connected in some way and have some special significance. And that, you know, whatever that could be, it could be, you know, it could be way cool. I would like that. Okay. Lightning Blitz asks, if you had to live with one pony for a week, who would it be and why? I would have to say Twilight Sparkle, just because any of the others, all the others would be really hard to live with, you know. Most of them would just have me pulling my hair out by the end of day 2. And, you know, and then, like, there'd be Fluttershy who wouldn't be in the way or anything, but you can't have a conversation with Fluttershy because he's just all the time, you know. So that's no good. But, you know, Twilight Sparkle, I think, is, you know, someone that is at least relatively normal, as long as you don't set off her OCD or anything. And, you know, I think it would be possible to actually, like, have some conversation with her. So, yeah. Okay. Do you think there will be any other Equestria Girls movies? I really don't know. There could be a third one, there could not be a third one. And, honestly, it really depends on how the second one goes. Like, you know, if I like the second one, which I most likely will, because I love the first one, and so far I have not been given any reason to not like the second one. So, yeah, I don't know. And I think I will be happy with the third one, but unless, like, the second one turns out to just be, like, completely horrible for some reason, then there probably won't be a third one, and if there is, I probably wouldn't like it. But I think that's unlikely. Okay. What is your favorite song from each season of MLP? Okay, I'm glad you asked each season, because I can give you, like, sort of, you know, I can maybe narrow it down to, like, you know, top 4 favorite songs, and they're all from different seasons, but beyond that, I can't narrow it down. It's hard to pick a favorite from those, but I'd have to say for Season 1, favorite is Art of the Dress, Season 2 is the Flim Flam Brothers song, Season 3 is A True True Friend, and, oh my god, I just realized, like, I have a lamp here, so the lighting isn't completely crappy, but I realized when I hold up my hand here, it's, like, shining with the fury of 1,000 suns. Okay, whatever. So, I'll use... Okay, so yeah, Season 1, 2, 3. So, Season 3 is A True True Friend. Season 4, I would have to say the Bats song, because, you know, the thing with the Bats song is, at first, you know, the more I think about it, the more I like it, because the whole thing is something new that the show hasn't done before, and, you know, it's a new style, it's very unique, and all of it has cool visuals, it's all very unique and interesting, and it has some great remixes, and I always like good remixes. Okay. Who is your favorite writer for the show, and why? Okay, favorite writer? Believe it or not, I think I'm gonna have to say Dave Polsky. And, you know, every time I think, you know, how much I like Dave Polsky's writing now, I remember back to that one time when I just, I hated Dave Polsky. You know, this was, you know, even right before Season 4, I did not like Dave Polsky at all. I didn't, like, the only episode of his that I sort of liked, you know, okay, well, no, I guess I liked some of his episodes, but the only episode that I really liked of his before that was Keep Calm and Flutter On, and just other than that, I did not like Dave Polsky. And now, just in Season 4, it's great. He has Daring Don't, great episode. Twilight Time, great episode. I missed one, Rarity Takes Manhattan, great episode. And For Whom the Sweetie Belle Toils, great episode. So, I don't know what happened to Dave Polsky, but I hope old Season 1 Dave Polsky that did Feeling Pinky Keen and Over a Barrel, I hope he never comes back. And what is an episode you would like to see made? Okay, that is another tough question, because I want to see a good episode. I don't know, like, I want to see episodes that focus on characters, explore new aspects of characters. You know, I can't think of a specific topic I want for an episode. You know, I don't know, like, if there's one thing I want the show to continue to do, I want the show to continue to make big, sweeping changes to its structure and to its characters. And, you know, that's what I like so much about Season 4, because right before that, you know, one of their characters grew wings. Like, so much character development, it had to be manifested in a physical form. And, you know, and then you go to Season 4 in the beginning, and they got rid of the elements of harmony. And, I want the show to continue to make these great big changes to its structure. Because, contrary to what a lot of people say, I think change is good, and change is what will keep this show alive for longer, and what separates it from the other shows. Okay, let's see. Bionicle King 4T2 asks, have you ever watched / what are your opinions on the pre-G4 generations of MLP? Okay. Unfortunately, I have not seen any of the previous generations. I have heard ungodly things about G3, and then there's, G1, which I've actually heard is not as bad as a lot of people assume it is. I've heard the movie for that, what is it? Or, not the movie, thing called, Raid on Midnight Castle. I've heard it's actually, it's still bad compared to G4, but it's not nearly as bad as a lot of people assume G1 is, and then, of course, G3 is just the worst, and G2 doesn't exist, actually. G2 existed entirely on toys, there was no show for that. But there was the weird sort of, My Little Pony tales tucked in there, and I haven't seen that, and I'm not about to. Okay. Do you know of / watch anything of the Stargate franchise? Sorry, I'm not into Stargate, although I haven't seen it. I might start watching it and find out it's my favorite thing ever. But, no, so I have not gotten into Stargate. Okay, and this last one's a long question. It's about Doctor Who, so bear with me. Why were the inhabitants of the Rings of Akatan seemingly so cool with the Doctor and Clara destroying the planet their asteroids orbited? I mean, didn't they live there? Won't all the asteroids just float away or collide together now? Also, how did they breathe there if the floating rock chunks look so small to naturally sustain their own atmospheres, especially if they are flying and swinging between them? And what's with the Akatan... Okay, let's see. Hang on, let's see. And what's with Akatan imploding, where it absorbed too much energy instead of exploding? All that energy's gotta go somewhere. Basically explain how / why anything in the episode can be construed as to making any sense at all. Okay, I use my incredible suspension of disbelief powers, because apart from all of those weird little nitpicky errors and all that, Rings of Akatan is actually one of my favorite Doctor Who episodes, and I love it. So I I suspend my disbelief for all of those, because it's Doctor Who. You have to suspend your disbelief for a lot of things there. Okay. Other question. How familiar are you with the Doctor Who fandom band Chameleon Circuit? I have heard of them before. I've heard 2 of their songs before. 2 songs I heard was Type 40 and an awful lot of Running. And I like both those songs. I want to say I am their biggest fan, but I enjoy them. I think it's quite interesting. Okay. Christopher McKee asks, what are your favorite Doctor Who stories? Okay, I'm going to assume by stories you just mean sort of episodes, and being a 2-parter. If you're talking about classic, they go up to 7-parters. So, favorite ever episode of Doctor Who, I'd have to just say the original Daleks, because, that was the beginning of, and I saw, the documentary about when Doctor Who was getting started, the Adventure in Space and Time, and, that episode, it saved the show, because right after the first episode, the Caveman one, it was already under threat of being canceled, and then here come the Daleks, and the Daleks just attract so many viewers, and they become such a huge phenomenon, and and the episode itself is just, it's great, too, because that's the first bit where we really get to see the Doctor being the Doctor. He will not stand for the Daleks just, destroying this whole species, and the whole episode's just the best, and it's really the beginning of Doctor Who right there. Oh, I love it. Okay. Ella Johnston asks, what is your favorite video game? And then he says, I can pick more than one. That's good, because I can narrow my favorite video games down to 5, and beyond that I cannot pick a favorite or rank them among those. And those 5 favorite games are, in no particular order, remember, Minecraft, Papers, Please, Civilization 5, Psychonauts, and Just Cause 2. those are my 5 favorite video games of all time. You know, and it's funny because they're pretty different games, actually. It just shows I love games across the whole spectrum. But I just love all those games. But even picking those 5 right there, it feels kind of bad because I'm leaving out a lot. You know, I also want to talk, you know, because there's all sorts of other games I really like. Like, you know, FTL is a great game. Team Fortress 2 is, you know, Team Fortress 2 is a lot of fun. And, you know, there's so many I'm probably just forgetting right now. And, you know, Thomas Was Alone, that one just popped into my head. That's another great game. There's so many great games and no time to review any of them. And, but, yeah, those are my top 5. I love all of them. Just, those are my 5 favorite games of ever. Okay, and he asks, what is your favorite TV show? You can have more than one. Yeah, so I already answered this. 3 favorite TV shows are My Little Pony, Doctor Who, and Sherlock. And again, those aren't in any particular order. Well, okay, Sherlock's kind of behind, but Doctor Who and My Little Pony are kind of tied. Okay, Brent Ramston asks, how much analysis could an analyst analyze if an analyzing analysis could You got me. The tongue twister beat me. Okay, I got this right in my first recording, I swear. Okay. Okay. How much analysis could an analyst analyze if analyzing... How much analysis could an analyst analyze if an analyzing analyst could analyze analysis? Bam. Okay. They could probably analyze a lot of analysis. I don't know, you have to talk about give and take. He did that huge montage of... You know, it was fairly early on in the analysis community, so it wasn't like 2 years long like it would be now, but it was just a compilation of every time an analyst said the word analysis, and I thought it was great. And you know, part of the reason I like that video is when I knew that I was part of the analysis community, because I didn't know that anyone knew of me. And then I watched that video, and about right after the halfway mark, bam, there I am. There's my OC, my crappy, poorly drawn OC, saying analysis like 7 times. So. Yeah, I guess... what was the question? Oh, okay. And then he also asks, what does Cam Goes Pony mean? Okay, Cam Goes Pony, that is a ponification of another username that I don't really use anymore that I used to. Because, you know, we always come up with the most embarrassing usernames when we're, like, 13. And, you know, at that point I had the username Cam Goes Wild, and... At that point, it did not occur to me that that sounds like some kind of porn name or something, until someone pointed that out to me, and I could just not look at that name the same way anymore. So, you know, if you ever see a Cam Goes Wild somewhere on the internet, that's me. Hello. But, yeah, so I needed to make a ponification version of it, because Cam Goes Wild was taken on YouTube from my old, super crappy Let's Play channel, back when I had a really poor microphone, super squeaky, high-pitched voice like this. And it's terribly bad, but, you know, just... please don't search that. Please don't remind me of those videos. But, yeah, so Cam Goes Wild was taken, so I need to know. I'm going to start a new channel for analysis. What should my username be? And then I thought, well, okay, I definitely can't do Pony Goes Wild, because that would attract the wrong sort of crowd, if you know what I mean. So, not doing that, so I went with Cam Goes Pony, and, you know, it sounds really weird, yet, you know, I've gotten used to it, so right now it just really sort of rolls off the tongue, and I see that word written, and it just looks nice. It's a complete word right there, Cam Goes Pony. It doesn't even make sense, but I like it. Okay, Puzzle Brony asks, why did you choose to be a brain in a jar? Okay, yeah, I sort of answered this. I like brains in jars, and I can't draw faces. Those are the 2 main reasons. Okay. Does your OC have other bodies it can plug into? Yes, actually. I've always liked the idea of it being able to sort of unscrew its head and then plug it into and screw it in to interface with another body. And, you know, I sort of play around with that a little bit. You know, I'm in the process of designing a humanoid sort of version of my OC, and so far it looks pretty good. And I want to use it, you know, so if I'm talking about like Equestria girls, I can make a cool human OC. That would be fun. But also just, you know, if I ever do a review for something that isn't Pony, like if I start doing reviews for games, I'll probably use that OC, because I don't want to scare people away, because, you know, I don't want to scare away all the pony phobes when they see something that's kind of shaped like a pony. So, yeah, I'm using Humanoid OC. And then, actually, for my video for It Ain't Easy Being Breezy's, I was originally going to design a breezy body for my OC. It was going to be kind of cool and, like, steampunk and have, like, weird sort of wings and, like, go, like, but I started designing and I couldn't get it to really work out, so I just went for my regular OC. Okay. Let's see. Can it be hacked or used by another brain in a jar? I guess if they figure out how the interface works and everything, then I don't see why not. Okay, and who is your favorite main six pony? I've already answered this. It's a tie between Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie. Okay. Oh my god, who comes up with these usernames? Okay, 1SFT... Okay, 1SFT70 asks, Wii U, PS4, or Xbox One? I'd have to say Wii U, because I'm kind of a Nintendo fanboy. But even still, above all of those, I prefer PC. I do PC gaming mostly, but Wii U seems nice. PS4, I don't want one, because I don't know of any games for it that I want, and same thing can be said for Xbox One. So yeah, Wii U, go Nintendo. Okay. Oh boy, someone has a lot of questions. Okay. Sasami-chan asks, what is your favorite fan work? Okay, there's a hard one right there. Favorite fan work ever. Okay, because I can say, oh, you know, favorite song, that would be Gato Pain's Reminiscence. Favorite animation, that would be Don't Mind at Night. But just favorite fan work ever. Oh dear. Okay, I think I would have to say that Tweet It music video that Black Gryphon did with Michelle Krieber, because that fan work right there, more than any other, it really just highlights the Brony community and what makes it so great, and it shows the special connection that the Brony community has with the show's staff, because it's a music video, and it features, it's there's a bunch of famous Brony musicians in it. If you look close, I watched it like 3 times before I noticed, like, Living Tombstone in one shot, and then, of course, Black Griffin's in there, he's on the title, and then, Mando Pony's in there, and then there's the show's staff, like, almost all the writers are in there, and the voice actors, Andrea Lindman does a few lines in Pinky's voice, and that video right there, that video is the Brony community in a nutshell. So I think I'm going to have to say that is my favorite fan work. Okay. Who is someone you would love to collab with? Okay, so this question does not have the limitation of being someone that I haven't collabed with yet. And I think probably a good collab partner would be Redcord and Toon Critic. Because I remember, we did a sort of 3-way collab, me, Redcord, Toon Critic for Bats, and that is one of my favorite collabs I've ever done, just because I think we have really good chemistry, and our 3 styles they complement each other, and they work really well. And I remember, writing the script for that, it went so well, because, our styles worked together really well, so we just opened up a Google Doc, and, like, the script practically wrote itself in less than an hour. So, I want to do more videos being me, Toon Critic, and Redcord, because I thought that worked great last time, and I want to do it again. Okay. If you could change one episode's outcome, which one would you change, and how? Okay. I think the only time I was... Well, let's see. Here, I thought of 2, actually. One is in Super Speedy Sidus Crazy 6000... a lot of people are really upset about the whole, oh, I didn't learn anything thing. And I don't think it's too much of a problem, but it still is kind of frustrating. And especially since it's after the point where they establish that it's totally cool for an episode not to have a letter at the end at all, I think it would have been best if they just left that whole bit out. And then, let the moral speak for itself, as opposed to giving the impression that there is no moral, which there is a moral in that episode, but it feels like there isn't one in that episode just because of that one line. But I guess there's still not much of a problem, because I think it's a lot like in Feeling Pinky Keen, where the whole Brony community just gets caught up on one line and disregard all the context, because people people look at the, oh, I didn't learn anything thing, they're like, see, there's no lesson in this episode, it's so stupid. It's like, no, listen to the next few sentences after that. There is a lesson in the episode, it's just a lesson that Applejack already knew. The audience didn't already know it. The audience did not already know that lesson, so it's still a lesson that's being taught. It's just one that Applejack herself already knew. Okay, what was the question again? Oh, right. Yeah, second episode I'd like to change is Pinky Apple Pie, because I like that episode, so I think it's fun. However, I do not like the ending where they still don't know if Pinky is related to the Apple family or not, and then they say, oh, well, in the end, it doesn't matter. And you're right, that's the lesson of the episode. In the end, it doesn't matter. She's part of their honorary family. But I think the lesson could have been made, it could have been made even more meaningful if they said, oh, it turns out Pinky is not related to the Apple family, but in the end, it doesn't matter because she can be part of the honorary family, yada, yada, yada. And I would have liked that because, first of all, when you set out the whole episode to find out this thing and then at the end it don't find it out, even though the whole lesson is that it doesn't matter, it still has the problem where it's just frustrating for the viewer and it feels like it wasted 22 minutes of my time. I mean, it didn't because it was a great episode, but it just gives that kind of frustrating feeling. Okay. What are your predictions and wishes for Season 4 and beyond? Okay. So, yeah, as I said before, I really want the show to just continue to make these big, grand, permanent changes to the characters and to the structure of the show. And that's what I want to see happen, in the Season 4 finale, and it's what I want to see it continue to do beyond Season 4. Okay. What actor do you want to see on MLP, and as what role? Okay. That's interesting, because, I've heard a lot of things about various actors, people suggesting, like, Benedict Cumberbatch or Morgan Freeman or something, but, that would certainly be fun, but I don't think any of those would really work, because you need a sort of just wacky voice for it to work. Like, if you go through, even the background ponies in the show, you go around, and no one in the show has a normal-sounding voice. They all sound sort of weird and cartoony and wacky in some way. Even, like, the normal ponies have, different-ish, wacky kind of voices, and in that case, I think the one person that really comes to mind, besides Weird Al Yankovic, who is, of course, perfect for that role, because he's so wacky. It was, he was definitely the best person the show could have chosen to cast, but another voice actor I think could pull off a good sort of just wackiness would have to be Sylvester McCoy, who played the Seventh Doctor, because he has that sort of wackiness to him, and I could totally see him voicing some pony, and I think that would be very fun. Okay. What else, animated or not, do you like that is kind of like MLP for either having equine, songs, or morals? Frozen. I like Frozen, and honestly, I like Frozen for a lot of the same reasons I like MLP. I like the songs, and I like the four-legged hooved animals in it, and I like the moral. Frozen does what MLP does. It subverts tropes and and societal norms, and that's great. I love Frozen, and I love ponies. So yeah, Frozen really actually reminded me a lot of My Little Pony. Okay. Who would be the new main six if the old main six were retired or gone? That's an interesting question. So my headcanon is sort of that if, for whatever reason, the elements of harmony had to be assigned to new people, they would be assigned to Coco Pomo, Silversill, Seabreeze, I lost my train of thought, Cheese Sandwich, and there's one more, I forgot what it is. Crap. I totally lost my train of thought. The other key pony that did thing, Spitfire. Yeah, that's it, Spitfire. Or maybe Soren. I don't know, one of those two. So, yeah, because, really, what we've seen in the key episodes, and it's funny we call them key episodes, because we really don't know, it's just speculation, and I would kind of like to see the season finale come around, and everyone's totally wrong, and they're not keys at all. But with those key episodes, they all focus on teaching those ponies about this lesson of the element of harmony. So I think it would kind of make sense, as since the main 6 are passing those lessons on, it would make sense if the elements of harmony passed on to those 6 ponies, and, well, 5 ponies, 1 breezy, and the whole 1 breezy thing kind of messes that headcanon up, but I guess those would be my main 6. Well, actually, I guess that would be the next bearers of the elements of harmony. Main 6 just refers to the main characters of the show, and I don't know. I guess I could get used to it if those were the 6 main characters of the show. It would be a very different show, but I'd probably still watch it. Okay. Have you seen any shows that were referenced in MLP because MLP made you want to see them? No. I know a lot of people got into Doctor Who that way. I heard a lot of people got into Doctor Who because they saw Doctor Who's in MLP. And, that's great because more people watching Doctor Who. No problem with that. But, they're, what other shows have been referenced in MLP? Doctor Who's the obvious one. And then, I don't know, there's a Back to the Future reference at some point, I think, and then, I don't know, but no, there's nothing that I got into because I saw it referenced in MLP first. Okay, Twilight Princess or Princess Twilight? Why not both? One is pretty much the best thing that has ever happened to this TV show, and the other is a great Legend of Zelda game. So, yeah. Okay. Alright. Someone asks, Vampire Fruit Bat Twilight Sparkle or Sparkly Vampire from Twilight? I think the answer to that one's kind of obvious. I'd like to see a Vampire Fruit Bat version of Twilight. That would be kind of cool. I'm sure there's some fan art of it if I bothered to search for it. I'm sure it's great. But, the whole Floated Bat thing, I love it. I mean, I mentioned this when I was doing my collab for Bats. It doesn't make any sense in the context of the story, and it kind of screws the whole story up, but who cares? It's a Fluttershy turning into a bat. It's great. Okay. Let's see. What so far are the best and worst Key episodes? Well, it seems we've seen all the Key episodes now, because I think whatever's going to happen with Twilight will be happening in the season finale. So, I guess best, definitely Pinkie Pride, because that is my favorite episode of all time. So, favorite episode of Season 4, favorite Key episode, just favorite everything episode. And worst Key episode, as much as I do like the episode, I'd have to say Leap of Faith, because, unlike the other Key characters in those, like Silvershell, he doesn't, I don't know, I don't like him. He doesn't seem to be a very interesting character, and I could be totally wrong. Maybe he'll show up again in the season finale, and he'll just, kick so much ass by, I don't know, being honest at things. So, yeah, I don't know, and it was really kind of generic compared to a lot of the Key episodes, and yeah, I still love that episode just because I love everything Flim and Flam. But, and compared to the other Key episodes, sorry. Okay. Who would win a prize for most random, Pinkie or Discord? Okay, that's interesting. I guess I'd have to say Discord, because Discord's the most random, although still I'd say Pinkie is the most entertaining, because Pinkie still breaks physics and all of that, but there's almost sort of a certain set of ways in which Pinkie does these weird things, so it's not even that random, I don't want to say you expect anything with Pinkie, because you really don't, but you expect everything, even less with Discord. And, that's one of the reasons I love Three's a Crowd so much. Some people love that episode, but my response to every criticism of that episode is, who cares? Look at Discord. This is just hilarious, and I love it. And there's just so many, the episode is full of just all sorts of fun background things. I remember once in it, Discord sneezes, and then you see behind him, in the area where he would have sneezed, a street lamp just stands up, tips its top off as a hat, and then just walks off screen. And no one addresses it, it's just there in the background. And I love it. So, he sneezed and the street lamp came to life. And the whole episode's full of that randomness, and it's a joy to watch, that's for sure. Okay. Who is your cheese sandwich? Or, the one who does what you do, only better. Most of the analysis community. But mainly, I'd have to say Give and Take, because Give and Take or Silver Quill, really. Mostly Give and Take, because as I said, I agree with him on a lot of things. So sometimes I'll be working on a video, and then Give and Take will release his and be like, well, crap, this is everything I was going to say, and then some, and said way better. So I'm just like, screw it, what's the point of analysis anymore? And I know that's kind of missing the whole point of, that's missing the whole moral of Pinkie Pride. But, you know, the whole point is that you just do it because you love it, and other people love it, and not because, you know, you're the best at it. But, you know, sometimes Give and Take, you really let the wind out of my sails, man. Okay. Let's see. What pony would you like to have to your house for dinner with your parents? What would you eat, and how would you tell your parents about your unusual guest? Probably Twilight Sparkle, because again, compared to the rest of the main six, at least she's the most normal. And again, that's kind of stretching it. But, and it would probably be the easiest to explain to my parents, because we're all kind of science. You'd be like, look, it's a pony that's into science. They're like, oh, that's cool. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about geology. Yeah, because my parents are geologists. You know, come to think of it, my parents are geologists. I should totally show them that Mod Pie episode. I bet they'd love it. Especially the... Oh my god, what did they say in the Mod Pie again? Get a doctorate in rock science? That's great, because both my parents have degrees in geology, so I'm sure they'd love that. Anyway, what was the question? Oh, right, yeah, who would I have over for dinner? Yeah, so yeah, Twilight Sparkle. And we'd probably eat, like, pizza, because that's vegetarian, and that's agreeable. Everyone likes pizza, so no problem there. And, oh my god, we're 40 minutes in. I was like, you know, I saw the 30-minute mark. I was like, okay, I'll finish this question, and then, you asked so many questions, Sasami-chan. Whatever. I love you anyway. Okay, so, this has been part 2, and I will see you again for part 3. And goodbye, and Cat says goodbye too. Right, Cat? No, I bet my cat hates me now. Okay, goodbye. Oh, but so much cat